Greek Podcast 3. That's right, we're rock and rolling here with, of course, Ryan from Prime Cigar. We're going to talk about absolutely nothing. Nothing changes because there's nothing really going on. Obviously, he's a big Jet fan. You know that's why the Jets are behind us. We'll get into him on the Jets. But first of all, it's World Series time. We're just about to see Game 2. What happened last night to your boys?
How many records? How many, World Series as we know it now dates back to 1903. It was like the I don't remember the two teams. I was reading about it last night, but inside the park home run,
unbelievable.
First pitch, like crazy
14
stuff.
innings.
14 innings.
Did you watch the whole game?
Of course I watched the whole game.
I was going to text you and say, are you up?
Yeah, I was sat here. I was texting my wife, honey, I'll be home at 11:15.
Oh, yeah.
12:15, she's blowing up my phone. Where are you? I'm
watching the Met game. I'm out. I'm relaxing.
It was, and it was cool because, the whole place was packed with Met fans.
Of course.
There were a couple of KC fans, but, not
Yeah.
many.
But you get all the New Yorkers down
Yeah,
there.
we were busy and it was great. And I'm like, I can't leave. Everybody knows I'm a diehard Met fan. I was tired.
Yeah, of course.
Yesterday was a long day.
Sure.
It was a good day, but, it was a long day. And now it's like, 12:30, it's 1 o'clock, 5 hours and 9 minutes.
Yeah, it was a long game.
5 hours and 9 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't even change in the later innings. I was still watching. I was sticking on. Usually I bang around, watch other things. I was watching the game. Obviously, it's a World Series. You got to watch the World Series.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Harvey? Did you think he was good? Not good? Do you think he should have got to be the pitcher for Game 1?
Mm-mm.
No, you didn't like him?
No.
You're a little tough on him.
I'm tough on everybody.
It seems like he's fallen out of a little. The Mets.
He feels like he's tentative, right? Like you watch him throw, he just doesn't appear confident.
Yeah.
He's a great pitcher, and he knows he's a great pitcher.
Yeah.
But I was sitting with my boy Mike last night, and I said to him, you know what? I said to him, who's more nervous? And I'll ask you, who's more nervous? The first guy throwing the first pitch of the first game of the World Series, or the opening lineup, the opening batting lineup?
Oh, I think they're both anxiety, both sides. You're getting watched by millions of people. I'm sure when you're on the mound or up at bat, you're thinking about when you were playing Little League, the little things like that, and your father and playing catch and hanging out and look where I'm at. And then also, I do think it's an advantage for teams who have been there. I think the Mets, obviously in New York, number one market, they get all the media, but now it's the whole world.
Right.
Everybody's watching them.
Right.
They're on ESPN. They had the 4 pitchers down. They sat down. You guys are great. You're all young. All that stuff adds to it, and it's also extra hype that they're on there. Like when you're pitching and people know about you, it's one thing. When the whole country, the whole world's watching you, you got to feel more.
And you get and all of a sudden, even if you're a no-name guy, you're always a name guy in your hometown. But if you're a no-name guy, all of a sudden everybody knows your name.
Yeah, that's it. You're right there. The spotlight's on you. It was a
Absolutely.
great first game.
I think KC set the tone early. I don't know if you saw, but one of the guys, I don't know his name because quite honestly, I don't know any. You know all the players' names, I'm sure. I don't know any players on KC. I learned a couple.
George Brett.
Right, exactly.
I knew I
don't think he's playing anymore.
Yeah, Willie Wilson.
But I'm watching these guys, walking off the field after 3 up, 3 down, and they just looked comfortable.
Yeah, well, they were there.
They're home,
Yeah.
But I will tell you, the Met fans, they showed up.
Oh, yeah, they had that one huge section, all the orange.
Section, the guys with the orange. And there's a name for those guys.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
And like I said, the guy I was sitting with Mike, my partner, in some other projects, I'm a diehard Met fan. He lives and dies the Mets. He knew. I would look at him and I'd say, who's up in the order? And he knew immediately.
Well, again, last time the Mets were in the World Series, 2000. They've only
and
been
it was
there
a lackluster series.
Yeah, they're playing the Yanks. They've only been their franchise 4 times.
And the problem is when it's the big Subway Series. It's something that we've always been looking forward to. The Yankee brand.
Oh yeah,
dominated that series.
Of course, they're the stepchild.
Right. It was Yankees and the Metropolitans.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Right. It was so they were the other team. Obviously in this series. The Mets made some great late season moves, obviously with Yoenis, and obviously they made some trade stuff. And they really built the slugging stats, which is what they needed. Their bullpen's great.
Yeah, the Mets were 52-50.
Right.
That's where they were.
The Cubs. The Cubs, who they just swept.
Yeah.
The Cubs' record was 15, 20 games better than the Mets.
Yeah, for the Mets, they got hot at the right time.
They ended up being 90 and 72 or something like that.
Yeah, they almost won 100 games, the Cubs.
Right.
For the Mets, too. They beat the Dodgers, powerhouse, with that great pitching staff. They beat the Cubs. And sometimes what people don't realize in basketball, obviously the NBA or the football, it's how you get there.
Right.
Because a lot of times when you get to the World Series or the Super Bowl or the NBA championship, the finals, you say, well, who had an easier path?
Right.
Because now you got to gear up again.
And it's, I mean, look, obviously you talk about football, any given Sunday, you only got 16 shots to to make your bones. Obviously in baseball, there's a lot more strategy. It's managing your pitching, it's managing bullpen hitting, and and the one thing I love about baseball is you'll have in even just in a regular 5-game series, you'll have games that are 12-8, and then the next game,
2-1.
same team 1-2.
Well, baseball too is a lot of it is matchups.
It's matchups, and there's much more managing in baseball.
Of course, and as well. So I mean, I think in every sport there's a tremendous amount of matchups, but also as computers got into baseball and they know every single matchup. This guy is 22 for 64, but now they bring in a lefty. This guy now is 33 for 81.
Right.
He hits. I mean, there's so much stuff that you know.
Lead off bunting and no outs against your man on first, but the man on first is your third fastest speedster, and I mean, I will tell you that's one of the problems with the Mets.
Yeah.
They got no speed.
No.
I mean, they got no speed.
But the Mets.
I mean, Yoenis is fast, but other than that,
that wasn't their recipe. In the playoffs, they won on 2 things: home runs, and they won up great pitching.
And defense. I mean, and the defense is good. Look, their defense is great.
But the Royals have great defense.
They have great defense.
Yeah, they got a couple gold
Listen,
glovers.
I think this matchup is a phenomenal matchup.
Yeah, I mean, you got game 2 tonight. Obviously, you're a Met fan. You say they win tonight.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think that they know they have to win tonight.
Yeah. But it's real, like I said, the common thing people say, well, if they lose, they're done. They're not, because the Royals are doing what they have to do. They're holding court.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're home. And I mean, and listen, if they go 2, we go 3, we go back for game 6.
Yeah.
It's a tough game to win.
Oh, yeah. It definitely is. Because you got the fans.
Yeah.
You got everybody going crazy, that intensity. I think it's great for the Mets. I mean,
it's not like you got a cold weather team against a warm weather team. It's you don't have those elements. They're both used to playing in cold weather. They're both used to the wind. I don't know if you noticed. Did you notice how it was blowing in from last night?
Yes.
I mean, so it's interesting, and obviously they're out there on the field. They know the wind is blowing in, so they're playing short field. They're playing. I mean, it's you have to manage the game and manage your strategy around the elements that you're playing with.
Oh, yeah, there's so many things.
There's a lot of stuff we don't see.
Of course, the average fan doesn't. There's so many things every game. What I don't like about baseball right now, it's not the October Classic. It's in November.
Right.
So it shouldn't be played in the cold weather.
Right.
I remember one time I saw a TV interview with Parcells, and the Giants were in the championship game against the Redskins, and he called Newark Airport. Right. And he wanted to find out. He said there's only one place that you get the exact
everything.
Exact weather report.
Barometric pressure.
Yeah, he goes, and it was going to be windy. We knew it. And I mean, but any